Welcome to Argyle TV. Argyle are just about clinging on to life in the Championship. We saw a defeat on Wednesday night at Swansea, and that means they start this weekend bottom of the table and 5 whole points from safety with only 5 games remaining to play. It doesn't come much harder for Miron Muslic's men either. Sheffield United, the opposition, they may have lost their last 2 matches, but they have their eyes on an immediate return to the Premier League. And with a former Argyle favourite in their side, they will be hungry to get back to form. Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Argyle TV. I am Erin Black. Lovely to have you with us here at Home Park on this Saturday afternoon. But we can't help but avoid it. Argyle grow ever closer towards last chance saloon here. They can't be relegated today, but a loss this lunchtime will see them, as has been the case for a while, teetering over the edge of a drop down to League One. Last weekend's optimism wiped out that, positivity that we saw at the weekend. A loss midweek against Swansea, of course, and with the top 7 teams left to play, the run-in is as difficult as it gets, and it starts today with none other than Sheffield United. As always, Argyle TV is the place to be for all of the action, and we'll be bringing it right here with you live for that early kickoff this afternoon. Match passes, both audio and video streaming, are available for you. So if you haven't gotten them already, now very much the time to do so. 12:30 for the kickoff. Head over to pafc.co.uk for all of the details on that. And I'm pleased to say, joining me over the next 30 minutes to bring you all of the action is none other than former Argyle and England defender Gemma Rose. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yeah. Excited to be, exciting game.
Thanks for being here. I think last time we did one together, it was a draw. So we'll be hoping to improve on that. I think you've had a loss, a draw, and then it'd be quite nice to have a win today, I think.
Oh, I mean, yeah, fingers crossed. I think, yeah, started the season, our first game was a bit difficult, and then obviously home game against Cardiff was, again, a difficult game, come away with a draw. But, yeah, optimistic today. Hopefully we get a really, really important 3 games on the board for us.
Yeah, it was nice, having that win here at Home Park last weekend. But of course, then midweek, it all crumbled up at Swansea. As a player, what's it like when you kind of feel like maybe you're trying to claw something back, like we saw here, and then to lose it 3-0 in the middle of the week?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really difficult when you have an inconsistent season. I think both collectively as a team, it's been really inconsistent, but also individual performances as well have been inconsistent. So, I mean, we're not going to shy away from the fact that these games now are really, really important. We need to start getting, obviously, 3 points on the board, and today is obviously, like you said, we can't get relegated today. So it's a massive opportunity to get us a really important 3 points on the board against, obviously, a difficult team. But they've lost the last 2 games, so obviously they're beatable today. So hopefully we put in a really positive performance again.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to say typical Argyle, but just when they seem to be getting back into it, then it just goes in, the pendulum swings in the complete opposite direction. But then if the pendulum is swinging, maybe we shall go back the other way today.
Yeah, and I think definitely, like we said, it is about consistency. I think once we've got a bit of momentum this season, we've seemed to have gone backwards a few steps. So it's about gaining momentum today and using this game obviously as a building block to obviously move forward up the table. We're not going to hide away from the fact that we need to win today. It's a massive game. It's a massive 3 points for us if we want to stay in the Championship next season.
Yeah, I think one of the things we've discussed previously, and certainly in the breakfast show this morning, this need for Argyle to just come out all guns blazing. There's not really the room to hold back anymore. You have to be the attacking side. You have to go and assert yourself early and assert yourself first.
Yeah, and I think statistically we know that I think Argyle have won every game where they've gone ahead in the game this season, but they've also lost every game that they've obviously gone behind in the season. So I think it's about sticking to the game plan today and not coming out too fast in terms of off the blocks, because obviously we're going to leave massive gaps in between units, and against a team like Sheffield, they'll just obviously break us apart and obviously score a few goals against us. So yeah, about sticking to the game plan and playing well, and obviously winning our individual duels is going to be really, really important today.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at the players Miron has chosen to be in Argyle's starting lineup this afternoon and how they may fare winning those duels. We've got Connor Hazard, Barley Mumba, Nathaniel Ogbetter, Jordan Houghton, Julio Plegathwello, Cornell Suge, Ryan Hardy, Callum Wright, Mustafa Bundu, Adam Randall with the captain's armband, and Victor Palson. And on the bench, Grimshaw, Edwards, Obafemi, Puhach, JB, Boateng, Tijani, Baidu and Isaka. It's a 3-4-3, Gemma, and looking... This is the thing, we spoke about this morning in terms of the injuries and the players that, you know, the head coach has to pick from at times. Sometimes it's a bit tight knowing, you know, who you've got to choose from and who goes where.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between us and a few clubs that are above us. They've had a bit more breadth and depth within their squad. They haven't necessarily had as many injuries as us throughout the season, and again, it's a game where we've had to force our hand in terms of the fact that we've picked up a few injuries throughout the week. And yeah, we're obviously going to stick to a more of a consistent formation, but we've had to obviously make a few changes. But it's about taking those opportunities today, those players that obviously have been given the opportunity to play, and putting on a really positive performance for not just the fans, but obviously to help us stay in the league as well.
Yeah, no goals from anyone midweek, but Ryan Hardy getting 2 last weekend. Looked like he could have been on track for a hat-trick as well. I think he'll be wanting to carry on pushing that momentum today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's definitely in form. It seems like obviously bouncing back from his injury, he's come back really strong. He's come back really a consistent player, and he's come back firing as well. So he wants to get goals. He wants to keep Argyle in this league, and I think he's going to have a massive impact on the team if we want to obviously stay within the championship.
Yeah, we see Joe Edwards on the bench as well. You know, he came on for a couple of minutes last weekend in particular. How much of a loss do you think it's been not having him this season? You know, because we're used to seeing him running the show almost, you know, like he is the club captain. He instills that level of calm confidence within everyone. And I think his absence has been noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I think tactically and physiologically we've noticed his obviously impact of the fact he's not been playing, but I think also psychologically his leadership, he's a born leader. We know him around Argyle. Obviously he has a massive impact in the way that the team play, but he also has a massive impact when we start to lose momentum within games as well. He does something really well, and it gives obviously encouragement to the team and the players around him. So we have missed that, and obviously when he does come on the pitch, it does make a big opportunity, a big chance for the players to push on and obviously to play better. But I'm hoping he gets the opportunity again today to come on, and if he scores, it would be great as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see in a moment when we look at the full Sheffield starting lineup. Coops is on the list. Adam Randall for us and Coops, you know, they've come up together through the academy. We've heard from when we played in the away fixture, you know, how much Rands wanted to get something past Coops, and, you know, whether he has the chance today remains to be seen. But, you know, it's another interesting battle that you see on the pitch when it's two players that know each other so well and get on so well, but now they're on opposite sides.
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult playing against your friend, but as soon as you step on that pitch, nobody's your friend, especially in professional football. So I'm sure he's going to relish off the opportunity to obviously hopefully score against his really good friend in a really important game, and I'm sure if he does have the opportunity he'll celebrate it as well if he does score. But yeah, I mean, like we said, nobody's friends on football, but as soon as they obviously finish a game after, it'd be completely different. Yeah,
and he's been wearing the captain's armband as well a lot more recently, Adam Randall. So again, it's a nice step up for him. You know, we've seen Cooper do some unbelievable work for Sheffield, but nice to see Randall kind of being recognised as well here within the club.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a great leader this season. I think he's been one of our most consistent players as well, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. He speaks really well in interviews, and I think he's been really fantastic this season, and he's brought a lot to the team.
Well, Sheffield have slipped in their last 2 games. Can they slip again today? Let's have a look. You know already we have Michael Cooper in goal. They also have Gustavo Hamer, Callum O'Hare, Jessamine Raksaki, Harrison Burrows, Anel Ahmedhodzic, Harry Clark, Jack Robinson, Nisha Souza, Tom Cannon, Zidi Peck, and on their bench, Davies, McCallum, Holding, Brewster, Moore, Brereton Diaz, Campbell, Chowdhury, and Sariki. It's a 4-2-3-1. Of course, Michael Cooper is the big talking point for us. It's exciting to see him back, we know, as we said at the top there, they haven't had the best last 2 games. You want to see him do well, but absolutely not today.
I mean, yeah, definitely, you've hit the nail on the head there. Today, we absolutely do not want him to do well, but I mean, he's an absolute legend at Argyle. We know he's obviously achieved fantastic things at Plymouth Argyle, and he's obviously worked really hard for the opportunities he's been given at Sheffield, and he's obviously a great player, and he deserves to play in the Premier League. He's obviously fantastic. Obviously, a 2 seasons he's won promotion with Argyle as well. But yeah, hopefully today he doesn't have his best of games, obviously in the nicest possible way, because it's obviously a massive game for us.
Yeah, and I think two of their players as well that maybe one would pick to stand out, Kiefer Moore and Brereton Diaz, but both on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, I think they obviously forced their changes because of the fact they haven't picked up, obviously, wins in the last 2 probably games. That's probably why they've made the 2 changes. Different reasons for us. We've made changes because of obviously injuries. They've made changes because of a lack of form. But obviously, if you look at their bench, they've got some fantastic players that they could bring on if they're needed. And I think that's the slight change between us and obviously big clubs this season.
Yeah, I mean, we're having a little look at, some of Michael Cooper's saves now as well. 19 clean sheets for him at Sheffield United this season. Very rarely makes any mistakes. He will be, like we said on the breakfast show, I think he made his move at the right time. You can't begrudge him that, and he has gone on to show what a phenomenal goalkeeper he is.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, he's a great goalkeeper. He's a consistent goalkeeper. He commands his area really well. We know for a fact that he's going to come out, he's going to claim crosses, he's going to make really big saves as well. So it's about obviously being really clinical in and around the box today, keeping the ball on the floor, obviously picking out corners when we get the chances. But we know he's a great goalkeeper. We know that he deserves the success that he's achieved as well.
I think we've seen it, previously in the past when Argyle almost have an impossible hill to climb. They tend to perform well, but when they need to pull the stops out and it may be achievable, that kind of seems to be when they capitulate. I suppose what's interesting about this game, it's a must-win for Argyle, but it's also, a pretty crucial game for Sheffield United as well. They're vying for those, promotion positions here into the Premier League. They're going to want to get straight back up. And they don't want to continue that losing streak, and they certainly aren't going to want to continue it against us at the other end of the table.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it a really exciting game today. I think both teams is a massive win, obviously a game for both teams. Completely different ends, obviously, of the spectrum. The fact that they're obviously fighting for promotion, they want to get back into the Premier League. We want to stay in the Championship. So obviously the fact that we need to stick to the game plan today, obviously not go out too fast and obviously starting blocks and leave massive gaps, because we know they're possession-based football. They like to keep possession and build up the pitch. Obviously, if we give them gaps, that's when they're going to open us up, and hopefully we don't have obviously a match from the midweek game. So yeah, we need to keep it tight and hopefully stay in the game for as long as we possibly can and pick up a late goal.
When you're a player and you are looking at the run of fixtures that we've got left, it's only 5 games. There's not much. You haven't got much to do in that space of time. Does it get into your head a lot, or do you have to just try and detach yourself from the pressure, the mathematical, possibilities of it all?
I think now in football there's so much outdoor noise. I think it's kind of difficult to stay away from it all. It's kind of difficult to not get too involved within it. So psychologically it's really, really hard. I think the players will probably be finding it really difficult, but they know the pressure's on them now. They know they need to start winning games. If not, we're going to get relegated. But the fact that we have got a lot of experience within the team, we have got obviously a psychologist within the club as well. So Miran Muslic seems a really positive manager, and he'll be instilling that positivity within the players, and hopefully obviously starts turning into putting positive performances as well.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the players are feeling a bit of positivity today, because I don't know if you feel the same, Gemma. It's quite loud here this afternoon. The atmosphere is certainly building, but of course, no doubt, it will have been a difficult few days for Argyle boss Miran Muslic, who has to do pretty much everything in his power at the minute to try and keep that belief high amongst the players. It sounds good here in the stadium amongst the fans, but how is he going to continue that? He's been speaking to Charlie Price for Argyle TV.
What are the things we have to do well then tomorrow?
Keep the composure, stick to the plan, then we have a chance. Norwich was the best possible example. When we do the things we work on, and when we execute it clean, we are competitive, we have a chance to win games, and we will need this from every single player who starts, but also from every single game changer. Then we have a chance, because it's another must-win game, no doubt.
We've been saying must win for quite a long time, haven't we? And actually, as you say, we have performed in some of those. And I think I asked you the question: does it kind of focus the mind more to have basically know you have to go out and win? But in a way, does it also sort of galvanise, or hopefully galvanise players, knowing that that this is I mean, you do have to do it. There is no second chance really after this.
Maybe. Because it was the same scenario just 10 days ago against Norwich, and we managed to grab the opportunity. 48 hours later, just disappeared against Swansea, missed a big opportunity, and the next one is there, knowing again the difficulty of the task, but we are just able to, or capable to surprise, and why not tomorrow?
Yeah. Just on them, you said that they wouldn't have been happy with their recent results, and they've actually had 2 1-0 losses in a row, which is rare for them this season. So, are you expecting a wounded beast to be coming down in the shape of Sheffield United?
It's not about wounded beast. It's about an aggressive opponent who realizes that they left something on the road, and they will try to get it back and to grab it back, and they will exactly think Plymouth is right now the right opponent for this, and that's exactly where we have to jump on this. That's exactly where we have to see also our chance to take advantage out of this. They will be physical, they will be honest, they will try to make it very to turn it into a fight, and we have to be ready to pick up this fight. We have to be ready.
Well, he said this period has been the most difficult since taking over. It's easy to see why. You're coming up against some big opposition, and as we've said previously, it is absolute crunch time here. You haven't got the wiggle room that other teams necessarily have. How do you try and stay in the game, stay positive? Because like you said, there's a lot of outside noise coming in that can be a big distraction.
Yeah, and I mean, I think especially if any manager's going to be positive, it's going to be Miran Mucic. We know that he's a really positive manager in terms of his characteristic as a manager. He's really positive. Obviously, in his interviews, you can tell that he's a really positive manager to be around. So he's going to be instilling that into the players, and I think that's going to be really, really important moving forward in the last 4 or 5 games of the season. The players need to stay positive. There's no point, obviously, in the fact that hiding away from the fact they're in this position. Positivity is going to obviously build momentum in games, and I think as well being positive in big moments in games as well. If someone does something really well in a game, get around that player, giving them that extra boost. And it's going to be really important moving forward, and especially for this game today as well.
Yeah, it's one of those ones really where you want to wipe the slate clean a little bit after a bad game, but you can't wipe it clean too much because you still have to remember what's at stake. And I suppose maybe we're not factoring in that the players will be aware more than anyone of what is at stake. They do not want to go down, get relegated and drop to another season because again, this is their careers too.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people forget the fact that at the end of the day, they are human beings. They have got feelings. They understand more than anyone the fact that they're in this position because of obviously different situations throughout the season. They haven't picked up enough points. We haven't consistently played well enough throughout the season as well. So they'll know that it's a really difficult situation to be in, but they will use the experience of the players within the squad to build on performances, to pick up points, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I keep saying it, but stay in the Championship next season.
I feel like my fingers are going to be bent out of shape from having them crossed for so long this season, to be honest with you. I suppose the benefit is Sheffield United are in the unusual position of having lost back-to-back games. It's meant their promotion charge has stalled a little bit, and their manager Chris Wilder is keen to stress they very much also need to get back to winning ways.
Against a Plymouth team, how do you assess them at the minute?
Well, they're bottom of the league, aren't they? So they're bottom of the league for a reason. But they're dangerous opposition, as seen last week when they got a really positive result against Norwich City. So yeah, it's a game that we should be expecting to win. And we listened to a bit of nonsense by their manager about the pressures on Sheffield United. Pressure's always on Sheffield United. Pressure's been on Sheffield United since the first day of pre-season. Pressure was on us against Preston. We got 85 points. Pressure's been on us right the way through. We're not crumbling because of the pressure situation. We didn't get a good result at Oxford because we were ultimately, all of us, off the pace, and we didn't find the big moments against Millwall. If we play the same as we did against Millwall, we'll win the game. Football. in my opinion. And for me, I think there's bigger pressure staying in a division than trying to get out of a division. So pressure, as always, when everybody puts the shirt on, the pressure that the players put on themselves and the pressure that myself and the size of the club is, and those boys have handled that wonderfully.
You're never going to win every game.
No.
And it's all relative.
Yep.
You will get beat. You will have bad runs.
Yep.
But good teams deal with it. It's not the fact they've had that disappointment, because that is guaranteed, isn't it, in sport at some point.
Yeah.
But it's how they deal with it.
Amnesia is a good thing. Is a big thing, isn't it? You like to forget the past, but it doesn't. You got to get over it, haven't you? So that's an art and a challenge, and something that we've done pretty well so far this season. So and we need to. Cards on the table. We've got to go and win a game of football on Saturday. I keep saying Sunday, don't know why. We've got to go and win a game of football on Saturday, and then we move on to the next game. We've got to go and win games of football between now and the end of the season. We've had to do it all the way through the season. We're going to have to do it now.
Well, it's been a strange run of form for them recently. Do you think that's going to make them nervous coming into today, or more determined to, deliver the goods?
I think nervous, but that would then turn into determination until they stand on the pitch. I think nerves are a good sign. It means obviously the fact that the professional footballers, they care. They want to obviously win matches. They want to stay in the championship. So they know how big a game it is. They are going to be nervous, but hopefully as soon as the whistle blows, that nerves will turn into energy, ready for the game.
Yeah, lots to play for at completely opposite ends of the table. I think our need is greater, but maybe I'm biased. And I make it almost coming up to past, so it's pretty much time for us to hand over on Argyle TV. It's going to be Charlie will be doing your commentary very shortly. If you haven't got your match passes already, get them now. Time is running out, and we'll see you again at half time. Thank you very much, Gemma. Argyle versus Sheffield United is up next.